Alright, so today we're going to be looking at another Leetcode problem. This is problem number 71, which is simplify path. What the problem says is that you'll be given some path like this, and you can have dirty path, which means it can be mix of multiple things, and you have to clean it up based on these rules that have been provided to you. So let's review the rules first. Um, So the first rule is that your path must always start with a slash. The second rule is that single dot means it's a current directory, so you don't do anything here. Double dot means that you have to move one level up, which is your parent. Okay, and then if you have multiple slashes like double, triple slash, or so on, you just ignore them and have single dash. If you have three dots or four dots, then it means it's a valid file name. You can keep it. Now, the clue to using a specific data structure is here. All right, so which is that once you push something into the thing, if you get a double dot, you need to remove it from the top and uh, pop that out, right? So a stack is probably a good data structure to use here. Okay, I am going to use a list which is going to act as a stack when I'm inserting and as a queue when I'm reading it. Okay, so I am modifying and using list in a very interesting way to just help me execute all of this. Now let us take few examples to understand these rules and their nuances, and then we should be able to code up the pseudocode real quickly. So let's say I have something like this slash home. Okay, I want my output to be slash home. What if I have slash home slash, then I want my output to be emitted as slash, which means at the end you don't have a slash. Alright, so what happens if you have home double slash foo? Remember, if there were multiple slashes, we only need to preserve the single slash. Okay, now what happens if you have something like home user documents double double and then picture? What that means is you have to pop this out. So as you're processing this, home is okay, user is okay, document is okay. The moment you see double dot, pop this out and then push this. So your output will look something like home user picture. Okay. What if you have, let's say, slash double slash? Now, if you execute this, there's nothing in your stack to pop, so nothing happens. Your stack is empty, and the output is going to be just a slash. All right. So this is how the rules are going to play in. So let's quickly write the pseudocode for this. Okay, and my pseudocode, like always, is going to be in Python. So let's define a stack like this, and what I'm going to do is split the input, which is like ABC XYZ dot dot triple dot, maybe triple dot, by slash. So in Python I'm going to do string dot split by slash, which is going to give me list of ABC, XYZ, and so on, and double dot, and then I'm going to apply my rules to these values. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's erase this as well. All right, so for substring in path dot split, okay, I start to apply my rules. Now if I get a dot, alright, or if I have nothing, like for example I had these double dashes, when I split this I'm going to get nothing here, or if I had a dot here, I don't want to do anything, right? So that's going to be my first condition. So I say if not substring or substring is equal to single dot. I don't want to do anything, and I say okay, continue to the next value that you get. Alright, so once we're done with that, what do we do when we get double dots? So let's handle the double dot. So substring equal to double dot. Then what you can do is say stack dot pop. Okay, and maybe it will be good to check if stack before we pop in case Python gives an error, but we'll have to check this one. Alright, now let's move on to the next condition. If substring is equal to actually I was going to write the condition for triple dot and 4 times dot, but there is something to think about. So these represents the file name. Alright, and file name can have some alphanumeric values after that as well. So what I'll do is I'll change this and say if triple dot in substring or 4 times dot in substring. What I'm saying is that I don't need to check what more is there in that file name, but if triple dot or 4 times dot are there, then I am just going to append it. Append the current substring that you got. Okay, and that is about it. You can also have another condition where you just have a character file name like documents, user, something. So you append that as well. You could merge these two in a single if statement, but I wanted to separate it out because it makes the laying of rules very neat and it helps in readability of the code that this is one rule and here is another rule. Alright, so once all of this is done, now we are ready to put together our result. So at the end, what we want to do is have a slash by default, whether or not there was anything that got processed. If not, by default we'll return a slash. Otherwise, what we will do is we will join rest of the values that we have collected. So if we had ABC, XYZ, this part will return ABC slash XYZ, and this part will add the beginning slash. So this will give you the result. That was it for this problem. Thank you.